Hi, my name is Samantha Payne. I am creating this comparison of two calendars using Google and Outlook as part of an assignment for AEP873, the Google education class. So I wanted to just start by kind of talking about a couple of different things, and you're going to find, and I kind of found in my comparison, is that both function very similar. It's just a dependence on user preference and what your organization uses. So the first, looking at Microsoft Office Calendar, this is going to be ideal for people who use Microsoft Office 365 and the whole suite, especially if your organization is using Outlook as their primary email service. So notifications come into your email, and I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like. And it's really kind of nice because it comes as an email, and that makes it easy to quickly respond, and as well as attach any attachments or any quick responses if you need to. You can attach files and meeting notes to the meetings easily. And if you use Microsoft Teams, a calendar is created from each class, and I would liken Teams to Google Classroom from an educational standpoint. Google Calendar is going to be obviously ideal for that G Suite user, and calendar invites appear as notifications for you. And with an extra click, it's just kind of an add more options button, and I'll show you an example of that. You can attach files to your events as well. And if you use Google Classroom, then a calendar is automatically created for each class, and that is done for both you as the teacher and you as the students. So the students have the option to subscribe or see that calendar as well. All in all, as I was looking through these, I felt like both calendars functioned very similarly, and it just depends on what your organization uses most. For me at Garden City High School, we are first and foremost a Microsoft school, but last semester we got G Suite as well. So we are kind of in that limbo phase of being between both. However, anytime a meeting is needing to be set or anything along those lines, Office 365 is the standard that we use. Google is more for if I wanted to link up with my classroom. So the big thing is if you are linking with a mobile device, both are going to appear and function in a similar manner. Whenever I get a calendar invite through Microsoft, it's going to come through on my phone, and I'll have the option to accept there as well. Same thing with Google. And if you're using a specific calendar in the workplace, with both, you are able to quickly and easily schedule the meetings, and as long as that standard's been set by your building or by your workplace, there's really not any big issues or hangups with either. I just know to check my calendar, and I typically check it on my phone just in case both calendars got used by some mistake. So I want to get into showing you kind of an example of both and a couple of tutorials of both. So again, I'm comparing Microsoft Outlook to Google Calendar. So the first that I want to show you is the Microsoft Outlook Calendar. So you can see that our school does use it. I am prom sponsor, so we've got lots of those prom meetings coming up. I'm also on a technology committee, so I've got meetings there, and then this is what our special education teachers use it to schedule IEPs as well. And you can see that there's a little attachment there. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to display all of her information, but there I can see her IEP, and I can also edit the document that I need to submit back to her talking about how Jessica's doing in the class. So the biggest thing here, and I can show you an example here, this tech steering, we're looking at evaluating iPads in the classroom, and I said that I would attend. It has me my location, and if I expand the view of this, I can also see that the agenda has been attached to the assignment, or to the the event as well, and I can see time, and I always set reminders there. The biggest thing is I can always come back and change. I can also, had this event not worked for me, if it's one of those that could be rescheduled, I can kind of propose a new time as well. I can see the attendees, who all was invited, and I can also see how they responded, which is kind of a big thing, especially when I touch back on the IEP thing. That's that way to see, okay, there was no general education teacher that responded, so therefore I really do need to make an effort to attend. I can categorize them, I can mark them as busy, that sort of thing. So I want to show you an example on this KISA meeting. So the KISA meeting was initiated by my principal. I was meeting with him over a few things, and this is how it kind of looked when it originally came to my email. And so I'm going to move my screen over there. When it came through, it said KISA meeting, we're going to meet Thursday from 2:30 to 3, and I can RSVP to this event and email the organizer. So when I responded, I could say yes, maybe, and no, and I could also add a message. And so if it didn't work, I could say no, I have we're in the middle of parent-teacher conferences, so I could say no, I have a conference at that time, let's propose a different time. However, it did come through to him then. It sent an email automatically for me that I accepted that event, and it popped into my phone calendar as well as his, and it was just a really easy way to quickly get that meeting on the schedule so that both parties remembered, hey, we've got this meeting coming up. So I'm going to come back over here. Let's say I want to create an event of some sort. So I'm going to say new event. From here, I can easily add all the information that I need to add in order for this event to be successful. So I've contacted one of my colleagues in the school, and I told her that I'd be sending her some sample emails. So I want to just say this is AEP873, discuss Microsoft Calendar. I invite attendees. I can enter any email, but I'm going to enter hers. And it's going to pop up just as she is in my district. I'm going to say that the date is going to be next week. We're going to meet, at 8 a.m. to 8:30. I can also change my time zone if that was a thing, if it was a need. I can set it to be all day. We're going to meet repeating if it's a kind of perpetual event or meeting. I can set that into the room location. So I'm going to not allow that for right now. I'm going to say that we're going to need it in C208. She'll know what that means. No, yes, there was the option to put an actual geographical location there, but I don't feel the need right now. I want to be reminded 15 minutes before. I can add a description. This is a test for my project. See your texts. Add whatever information there that I need. I can also attach any files that I might need to add that she may need, like that example of the agenda for the meeting, okay? So I can set this as a busy, working. I can set it as a private event, especially if my calendar has been shared with anybody, and I'll show an example of that in a minute. Categorize it, and then set any response options here. So as soon as I feel good with that, I'm going to hit send. So that event was created down here. There is the option for some conversation, or it's a meeting. And I want to right click and show you a couple of things on this, maybe. So I can view, edit, or duplicate the event if I need to. Reply. The charm is nice if you are somebody that needs labels, so I can say, this is a meeting with her, and so I'm, instead of that little message bubble, I'm going to put a little person. Okay, so here is kind of the overall. Oh, one more thing that I want to show you. Sharing the calendar. I could share the calendar with anybody that I feel like needs to see my calendar. So I would use this if I was kind of a building administrator, share it with my other fellow administrators or an athletic director. I may use a calendar to create the sports schedule, share it out with everybody. So that is an option to share your calendar. All right, popping over to Google Calendar. Right here. So like I said, we're both. So I'm in currently my Google School account, and I use Google Classroom. So as mentioned, it is popping in any of my assignments that I've assigned. For me, this could get overwhelming. I teach several of the same preps, so that's why there's like the assignments 4 times. However, it is a nice kind of view to say, okay, Tuesday, this assignment was due, and these are just the labels that I put into Google Classroom. I can turn off these calendars, though, very easily if I feel like it's too cluttered and I want to get rid of them. To create an event here, I'm going to say create, and there's kind of just a quick view here. As I said before, I need to click more options in order to be able to add attachments. It functions very similar to how Google's going to function, and all the settings are pretty much there as well. Like I said, I can quickly add locations, put C208 in there. I can add guests if I need to, and enter T. Bailey gt.gck schools. It is very confusing because we have both. And so when I'm done, I would just be able to push save and call it good from there. And I'm out of time. I hope you found this tutorial useful and a good comparison for you. Again, it just is dependent on what your organization is going to use when determining which calendar works best for your needs.